Welcome to World Class, the series that gives you the best of the very best. In this series, we visit some of the finest hotels and resorts from around the world. And our destination in this program is no exception. We have just landed in the Maldives and are just about to take off once more for a short 40-minute hop by air taxi out to the Laviani Atoll, our island of choice. Officially known as the Republic of Maldives, this is an island nation made up from a group of 26 atolls, some 370 miles from the southern tip of India and around 417 miles from Sri Lanka. Actually, there are 1,192 of these tiny islands in the Maldives territory, but with only 250 actually inhabited. But we are focusing on just one little island. This is the beautiful island of Kanuhura. With 24 twin otters, the Maldivian air taxis are the largest seaplane operators in the world. The pilots are all very experienced, flying with their distinctive uniform of white shirt, green shorts, and bare feet. It is the only way to arrive. The approach offers such tantalizing views, leaving passengers impatient to land and jump into the clear, aqua blue, sparkling waters below. Here, the pilots require terrific boatsmanship as well as aeronautical skills, and make mooring up look as easy as a gondolier offloading tourists at St. Mark's Square in the choppy waters of Venice. One small step, tie the bowline, job done. If you are looking for a picture-perfect postcard, look no further. This holiday island is one of the top resorts in the Maldives and a favorite with the sun-seeking jet set who simply need to unwind. The hotel has an occupancy rate of 100%, with many of its guests returning on a regular basis. The resort is elegant and immaculate, with terrific attention to detail in the landscaping. So much so that within minutes of landing, you feel in awe of the surroundings. These water villas on stilts offer the ultimate experience of tranquility. The 18 villas are built with privacy in mind, and so none of the wooden decked balconies are overlooked. Each villa has its own private set of steps into the sea, connecting you directly with a colorful array of tropical fish. These are places to sit, relax, and read. The constant soft sound of the sea lures you to swimming from dawn to midnight, after which the lullaby of the sea sends you to a land of tropical dreams and sets you up for another fresh and reviving morning tropical swim. And so the cycle goes on. Inside, the rooms have both air conditioning and ceiling fans, but the best cooling option of all is to simply open the wooden slats and relax in the cool sea breeze. Back on land, the beach villas are hidden amidst lush tropical vegetation. Each villa has its own private space, extending out from the beach to the lagoon. This is a 2-bedroom grand beach villa, with 1 king-sized bed and 2 singles, making it perfect for families. This is a real home away from home, with a small kitchenette and a secure garden for younger children to play in. But best of all is this inside-outside bathroom, with its whirlpool bath, his and her sinks, and al fresco shower. With every touch and every glance, this suite simply oozes world class. The Maldives are true beach resorts, destinations with a slant on relaxing, walking, and swimming. They are perhaps not the best place for tourists who prefer to get off the hotel grounds in search of adventure, exploring the local attractions. They are definitely not for individuals who like the buzz of a city with bars and plentiful nightlife. There is a perception that there is very little to do in Maldives, but actually, if you love the sea, the activities are second to none. How about spending an afternoon watching dolphins? Here, sightings are just about guaranteed. Actually, the Maldives rank amongst the top 5 places in the world for dolphin watching. Over 20 species live here. That's a quarter of the world total. These little guys are spinner dolphins. They are the easiest to find and live here in quantities of tens of thousands. They have a regular routine of feeding offshore at night, and so return to the atolls in the early hours and leave again in the afternoons, making them easy to find at certain times of day. So, as the spinners set out on their offshore fishing adventures, a golden sunset marks the closing of the first day in our trip to paradise. Once the sun has set, the sea breeze cools the air to a comfortable 20 degrees centigrade. It's time for sundowners and, of course, a little romance. Because now the resort takes on a very different light. It's a light of amber candles and of scarlet skies. It's a lovely time to walk, talk, and for some, to reflect on the day's achievements of, well, doing nothing at all. The lantern-lit walkways provide great opportunities for pictures that will no doubt prompt happy memories for many years to come. The inside is met by the outside with the cool coral sand covering the floor in the main bar. Meanwhile, at the restaurant, a table is carefully prepared for a moonlit meal for 2. These magical moments aren't, of course, accidental. They are manufactured by the owners of Kanuhura Island. The setting and the ambience are all a creation of the 5-star management and staff. But who cares when all the elements combine to make for a perfect stay in a perfect place? It's day 2 and time for the whole laid-back adventure in this hidden retreat to start all over again. But while the guests go about their business of total relaxation, the staff sets out to work their magic once more. It's not just residents that relax during the day. In the trees, fruit bats can be found recovering after a hard night's work pollinating seeds. For you see, their main diet is actually nectar and pollen. Because there is very little fresh water in the islands, there are actually very few birds and insects. So these little bats do all the hard work of distributing seeds. And so the end of another idyllic day slowly draws to a close. Another day of perfection created by the staff, whose ambition is simply to please. Ah, the start of another day in paradise. Somehow, it's almost expected. So much so that should you keep a diary while on vacation in the Maldives, the entries could be very repetitive. For instance, day 1. The weather is wonderful. We spent the day relaxing on the beach and swimming in the sea. Day 2. Well, ditto. Day 3. Ditto once more. For some, that's just ideal. But should you have the urge to be slightly more active than race to reserve your sunbed for the day, there are plenty of activities to try your hand at. We have looked at dolphin watching, but have you ever tried sailing? The lagoons here are the perfect place to learn and are a must for families and children. It's very safe, too, as this resort has a no motor policy, so you won't be disturbed by speedboats with water skiers or the buzz and thump of jet bikes bumping across the waves. But of course, you could venture out away from the sanctuary of the lagoon and try your hand at deep sea fishing. You are looking across the bow of Kiola, one of 2 31-foot Bertram Sports fishing boats, owned and run by the husband and wife team Mario and Louise Tagliante. They only crew with highly experienced local fishermen. These guys have extensive knowledge of the Maldivian waters. This is crucial for safety because of the many reefs to navigate through. This boat is ideal for a party of 4 fishermen and comes complete with fighting chair, outrigger, pen rods and reels, and the latest in lures and game fishing equipment. But perhaps most importantly, the boat comes with Mario.
It's something that in Maldives, other than go for snorkeling and diving, fishing is another activity that the people can try and become every year more and more popular. So we try our best to catch a fish, but sometimes the fish is not always there.
Today seems to be one of those days. We have trawled for an hour with no big fish in sight.
We have a season when the wind from northeast it go between November to March. We have a lot of sailfish. Luckily, we still have a lot of sailfish. We are doing catch and release, so we don't kill them. We let them go. We are member of a bill fishing association, so we are members. So we want to protect the fish. And tuna, yellowfin tuna, also in November. They come very close to the island. We can reach a good fishing area in about 15 minutes, and we had a good chance to catch a yellowfin tuna. And wow is also another beautiful fish, and a lot of fun. It's very, very fast.
Oh well, the most important thing they say is the hunt. Still, big fish or not, this makes for a most enjoyable day.
Luckily, we can catch marlin. There is always the big trophy, and but Maldives is the place that you can catch most of the time sailfish and marlin occasionally. It's always a beautiful feeling when you catch marlin. Is adrenaline everywhere. It's just fantastic.
Thankfully, these creatures are far too clever to take a line. Our friends, the dolphins, once again showed up with big grins on their faces, as if to prove that the sea outside of the lagoons has no shortage of marine life. So on day 3, we didn't catch sailfish or marlin, but we don't blame Mario. After all, he is the vice president of the Maldives Fishing Club, and you don't get credentials like that without a history of some very tight lines. So it's back ashore to end the rest of the day, well, doing the usual, of course. After all, people travel from all over the world to sit down and do nothing in the Maldives. But the sea is so tempting. Here, you can be Jacques Cousteau in minutes, but you won't need tanks, because in just 4 feet of this crystal clear, skin-caressing water, you will have a faceplate full of fish, proving that the Maldives are as spectacular underwater as above. Here, the only crowds are the fish, and so this island-studded sea offers a snorkeling and diving experience that you will never forget. Back on dry land, one can take time to walk around the island. But since it doesn't take very long, why not take the time to walk around again, but in the opposite direction, perhaps as the sun sets? Ah, the stress of such important decisions. Is there really an office that's currently building a mountain of paperwork on your desk back home? Now is certainly not the time to think of that. What office? Ha! Now you've slipped into the Maldivian way of life. So as day 3 draws to a close, the enjoyment of dining in the warm and balmy sea air almost becomes routine, surely never to end. The sheer beauty of these tiny islands is stunning. They make you want to use the thesaurus to find alternatives to the word paradise. If you would like to see more of the Maldives, you can also try island hopping to experience the very best of these islands. Kanuhura is only one of several quite simply amazing spa resorts. The Taj Exotica Resort, the one and only Ritai Ra, and Shangri-La's Valingali Resort, to name but a few. So why not mix and match with a few days' stay in each? If you really do want to get away from it all, then the Maldives is the place. But given the proximity to India, you could always consider a 2-destination holiday, with sightseeing in the first week and the beach for the second. Many travel agents also pair the Maldives with Dubai and Sri Lanka for the same reasons. But if there's a wedding and honeymoon on your mind, the 2-week stay is surely a must. For it's here that those special occasions become positively dreamlike. The walk along a sandy beach with the sun setting on the Indian Ocean creates photo opportunities that could be supplied to any glossy magazine. Actually, as with all visitor marriages in the Maldives, this ceremony is a blessing rather than a legally binding wedding. These are known as symbolic weddings, but the faces on this lucky couple say it all. This is a truly romantic occasion. As the blessing is complete, a Bodu Baru band starts their traditional chant. This Maldivian folk dance is a tribal dance that usually takes place during festive occasions and can last for 2 hours. There is just one lead singer of the band who lets the others sing in chorus. As the song continues, the rhythm picks up and people come out of the troupe to dance to the tune of the music. The 3 drums are made from hollowed coconut wood and give an Eastern African sound, although it's thought that the music was introduced to the region by sailors from the Indian Ocean. The Bodu Baru band will dance themselves into a trance for the next hour, giving a real send-off to the bride and groom. And so, as the sun sets for the last time in this program, we leave the boys to chant and dance. Because sadly, our plane is leaving, and that's all we have time for on this laid-back Maldivian adventure. Be sure to join us next time as we endeavor to find the very best in luxury accommodation from around the world on your behalf in World Class.